Now on Up North Live News at 6.
People would get left behind. And I think that's the most difficult piece of all of this uncertainty.
A change in funding could mean dozens of employees left without work and few places else to turn. Tackling PFAS with a new approach. We'll explain PFAS-destruction technology and if it's an option for the Cadillac community. Plus, she's 7 years old and already making headlines across the country for her passion to help wildlife. And we're going back in time for this week's Exploring Michigan report.
This is Up North Live News at 6 on 7 and 4.
A change in policy on paper may soon have a real-world impact for dozens of workers, first in Antrim County and then potentially in Grand Traverse County. They work for Grand Traverse Industries, and many might struggle to find and keep jobs on their own, but through GTI, they thrive. But tonight, concerns that may change.
If GTI didn't exist, yes, there's a lot that would be lost.
Sitting in her office at Grand Traverse Industries, Executive Director Cindy Evans does a lot of work carrying out the company's mission.
We are here to fiercely advocate for individuals with developmental disabilities, and we employ and provide services to them.
Jobs both in-house and out in the community for folks who might struggle to find work without them.
We employ about 40 individuals in the Mansalona facility, and I think we're at around 130 here in Traverse City.
Today in her office, a visit from Dennis, a 26-year-old who for the last 4 years has relied on GTI's Mansalona work placement.
GTI is awesome because I have good staff and them help me with stuff.
With community partners and a job coach, Dennis works 5 days a week.
It makes me feel good having a job.
But Dennis and roughly 39 others out of the Mansalona office may be without a job, without that opportunity, and stuck at home soon.
Well, we've been told by actually North Country Community Mental Health that there is a directive from MDHHS that we have to transition our program into a community-based model.
A change in Medicare definitions that would eliminate funding for dozens of folks like Dennis. That part's pretty clear. What's not to the folks at GTI is just about everything else behind the decision.
It's really hard to pinpoint what's honestly driving this directive because it's not consistent across the state, nor is it consistent with the CMHs that GTI specifically works with.
So getting answers from MDHHS and North Country Community Mental Health has been a challenge, which has made plotting a path forward even more difficult, especially for the Mansalona office.
There's around 40 individuals that are going to lose a paycheck and a job unless we can work to develop supported employment, additional supported employment opportunities.
They're asking for those who support their mission to speak up.
Right now, we want them to reach out to our legislators and say, hey, this needs to stop.
They say without a change in the projected policy, much would be lost company-wide.
It just feels criminal. It just seems unjust to take away options and choices for the individuals with the most significant disabilities.
And for those who are out doing the work, who have struggled to find a job on their own, a realization of the significance of this moment, of this policy change, and what other changes could be on the way.
I would be lost without GTI because I like the jobs I do.
And GTI is hoping to get a little more clarity at a North Country Community Health Board meeting tomorrow. In the meantime, they are encouraging supporters to reach out to your local lawmaker, your local community mental health agency, and to MDHHS directly to share your thoughts.
A 34-year-old man, formerly from Cadillac, was sentenced to up to 15 years in prison for sexual assaults committed against a minor over a decade ago. That's according to Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. Dustin Lee Sutton, who recently lived in Washington, was sentenced on Monday. Nessel says in 2014, Sutton, who was 23 at the time, stayed overnight at a relative's home in Manton, where he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl multiple times. Nessel said the victim reported the abuse in 2015, but by then, Sutton had moved to Washington. Michigan State Police investigated and charges were filed that year, but Sutton was not extradited until December of last year. Nessel says Sutton pled guilty to 3 counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct on June 6th in the 28th Circuit Court in Wexford County.
As the Cadillac community continues to share concerns about PFAS or forever chemicals in their water, leaders are looking at PFAS-destruction technology that could be piloted in the city in the future. That was one of the topics discussed at a meeting of the local Development Finance Board today. Our Ali Baxter was there and researched how the technology could work.
Pilot study would see if we could remove PFAS from the groundwater.
Is it possible to eliminate PFAS from Cadillac's water? Some companies say yes, and they have the technology to do it.
We do have a couple wells that are hotter wells. Obviously, when they all mix together, they go up to clam at or below this new federal criteria. But if we had to do treatment, maybe we could just treat the high wells and not do a whole plant treatment system, which could be cheaper.
LDFA member Brian Warner says he's talked to 3 different companies about their destruction technology. We're told one of those is Invicta Water, based in North Carolina.
Could we prepare a subcommittee to prepare a proposal scope of work, get the proposals in, and then the next step would be to ask Eagle, is there grant money available for this concept?
LDFA members brainstormed what they would need to do to potentially get a pilot program to Cadillac. Ideally, they say they would want to get a grant to pay for a study that could be expensive.
We decide to buy it. What does that number look like?
In our research, most companies who say they utilize PFAS destruction technology are using a carbon-based form of it. It's said to be expensive, and the remnants need to be destroyed off-site, which is why the board discussed the technology used by Invicta, which is partly UV light based and does not need to be disposed.
In my view, destroying it, cutting to the chase, destroying it on site and not shipping it off site is a better option.
In Cadillac, Ali Baxter, UpNorthLive News.
And the board also said they'd like to try to partner with the state and a university for a collaborative pilot study. They noted it's a study that's been done in other states.
In Leelanau County, preparations are underway for the upcoming tall ship season. The Maritime Heritage Alliance is working out of Northport this week. That's where 2 tall ships, the Champion schooner and the Madeline schooner, are being rigged and prepared to sail. The Maritime Heritage Alliance says it looks to create opportunities for the public to learn about the ships. The Madeline schooner will be open to the public for tours this weekend.
This weekend is a really great opportunity for us to show off the vessels, what it takes and everything that goes into them, and definitely all of the work that our amazing volunteers do.
And we're told it takes thousands of hours and about 500 volunteers to prepare the ships for the sailing season each year.
A Northern Michigan girl is proving that age is just a number when it comes to making an impact. 7-year-old Isabella Story, an advocate, educator, and now a national finalist in a wildlife competition. UpNorthLive's Tony Lundy takes us to the Second Chance Rescue and Exotics to talk with the family.
At just 7, Isabella Story is already living her dream, surrounded by exotic animals and using her voice to protect them. She's a part of the heart behind the Story Second Chance Rescue and Exotics, a nonprofit sanctuary in Missaukee County run by her family. From sunup to sundown, Isabella helps care for over 300 exotic animals. Many of them are rescues or neglected due to aggression.
Well, as a child, it was my dream to own a zoo. So to see my child own a zoo, right. She's out here every day. She is the boss of us and our employees are here. She says it herself. And so seeing her live my dream that I had as a child and it becoming part of her dream, I think that's super rewarding.
Her compassion and confidence has earned her quite the following. With over 90,000 fans on social media, Isabella shares daily videos educating kids and adults alike about wildlife and proper exotic animal care.
Because it just helps them learn and teach them how to take care of animals and stuff.
Now, Isabella is reaching for something even bigger. She is one of just 100 national finalists in Colossal's Junior Ranger competition, supporting the National Wildlife Federation. If she wins, she could take home $20,000, appear in the Ranger Rick magazine, and meet wildlife legend Jeff Corwin.
We thought that was a huge opportunity for her and taking her next step in her passion and learning more about animals. She's currently in semifinals in first place. and she is the top 100 in the country currently. After this round is over, there's only going to be the top 16.
The grand prize winner will be announced August 8th. In Missaukee County, Tony Lundy, UpNorthLive News.
And the semifinals end tomorrow. You can get all the information you need to vote and how to follow Isabella on social media on our website, UpNorthLive.com.
We are exploring Michigan, taking a trip back in time at Wellington Farm USA in Grayling. From a single building in 1998 to a full living history museum today, each spot has a story to tell. It's coming up next on UpNorthLive News at 6.
And just issued a flash flood warning for parts of our viewing area. We'll tell you where that is and what to expect for the rest of the night, and looking into the weekend after the break.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.